right, thank you so much, Terence, once again, and a very good afternoon, everyone. Now, thank you so much all for joining us in this very special session with our 3 winning agency leaders. Okay, as you know that this is a chill session and interactive session like what Terence was mentioning. So we do appreciate your stay with us throughout the entire session and hope you bring home something to apply for your real estate business. So my name is Carolyn Lin. A little background about myself. I am the Business Development Director of Espritestate, and I will be your moderator for today. So thank you so much all for joining us once again. All right, so as you guys all know that the numbers of COVID-19 cases are fluctuating and it is actually on the high side. The 3 agency leaders today are here to talk about mitigating the situation in times of this pandemic. All right, so an awe-inspiring day today. We are proud to bring to you 3 gentlemen here with us to part their knowledge, personal experience, and to help us understand the mastery of propelling your real estate business into the future and how you can be great at doing it. All right, so once again, in the last 10 days, if you could remember, those who have actually joined us before, the 3 agencies came together to have a time sharing session focusing on their cumulative of close to 50 years of property experience, and as a platform that will help negotiators on the ground to upskill and to scale their business as well. All right, and as the usual drill, do post your questions in our chat for us to put forward to our leaders so that you can get your questions answered. Yeah, so just remember to post your questions, anything in relation to a real estate. Okay, this is an interactive session and we would like to encourage everyone, if possible, to ask questions, right? The more you participate, the more you learn. Okay, so all right, before we roll, allow me to put forward a brief introduction on our 3 outstanding leaders. We have here Mr. Aldrin Tan from Espritestate. Hello, Mr. Aldrin.
Okay, hi everyone. All right, thanks, Caroline.
Hi, thank you for being here with us this afternoon. Now, Aldrin Tan holds a prominence in the real estate industry, clinching various awards for Specialized Projects of the Year, Industrial Firm of the Year, Best Practice Agency. Aldrin is also crowned as the Real Estate Agent of the Year. To begin, Aldrin has acquired a substantial amount of experience and effort in building his career and journey in the real estate industry. In 1995, Aldrin started his milestone as a real estate practitioner and subsequently founded Espritestate in the year 2000. His success is also a mass contribution from his education, where he graduated his economics in accounting and in the Australian National University, ANU. To date, Aldrin has built Espritestate into one of the fastest growing agency in Malaysia with a compute of 10 branches throughout Peninsular Malaysia and a capacity of more than 600 agents and counting. Over the years, he has produced abundance of million-dollar producers, and his strength lies in making an impact in changing lives when it comes to real estate. So let us all put our hands together for Mr. Aldrin Tan of Espritestate. All right, can we see some claps, please? Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Marching on, we have here with us is with Dato Adrian Wong from CBD Properties. Hello, Dato Adrian.
Hello, hi. Hello, hi everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much to being with us here as well, Dato. So Dato Adrian is the CEO and founder of CBD Properties. He has acquired a degree in civil engineering from Oklahoma State University in the US. He has spent 4 years in practice as a civil engineer and developed a great passion in real estate. Thus, in the year 2006, he has established Polo Air Consultancy and M2H and from CBD Properties in the following year, 2007. With offices throughout Peninsular Malaysia, Dato Adrian has also successfully produced close to 400 rents to date, having an expertise in providing management and creative business strategy consultancy. His mission is to create a real estate platform for Southeast Asia market and to help real estate agencies to leverage and to benefit their clients. Over the last 15 years, Dato Adrian has built scores of millionaires and also agents through his guidance in real estate. For 8 years consecutively, his agents have won the MIEA $1 Million Roundtable Award. And to add on, Dato Adrian also won the 2012 MIEA Residential Salesperson of the Year, 2013 JCI CYEA Top 10 Finalists, 2015 MIEA Top Realty Awards. Dato Adrian has also backed the 2018 MIEA CEO Award. So let us all give a warm welcome to Dato Adrian. All right, can we see
Thank you.
a round of applause? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to our third guest. We have here with us Kai Wong from Profere Property. Hello and good afternoon, Kai.
Hi. Good. 3 o'clock again. Energy very good.
You're right. And thank you for being with us as well, Kai.
Yep.
Okay, so Kai is a director and founder of Profere Property. He attained a master's degree in law from the University of Wales in the UK. Kai's career journey includes being a banker in Santander, UK, a general manager of Oriental Real Estate Group, director of Profere Property, financial advisor in Awaken Grounds, and also director in Far Post Academy. Kai has a total of 200 agents bearing several branches across KL and Selangor. Kai represents the Gen Y and assumes tremendous drive and creativity to rock the property market. So his dexterity is also in providing consultancy in training and coaching to various real estate agencies. So Kai's belief is begin with an end in mind. So let us all welcome Kai Wong. Hi, Kai, thank you. Okay, thank you so much. All right, so with these three high-profile leaders in the property market, gathering and accumulating half a century of experience, we are so ready to learn something and take home hot tips from them. All right, so thank you very much once again. Now, without further ado, let's hear a few words from them on the agenda on how they're going to share and set sail in this real estate real world. So let us start off with Mr. Aldrin Tan. Take it away, Aldrin.
Wow. Okay. Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this session. So, some of you, or in fact, most of you, has been following our daily 3 p.m. session. It's so great to see you guys again. All right. Times like that during this moment where we get locked down and our business is deemed not essential, even though, in my opinion, it's essential. All right, so we are not going to debate that today. One of the things that is very important is staying together. All right, because great things happens when we stay together and we move forward together. Yeah, all right. So, but this is how I feel about this business. Many a times that I see agents on the ground, okay, or even leaders as well, okay. A lot of things that is being done is actually on the short-term basis. Yeah, short-term basis meaning to say it's all about sales. I was at one point of time in my real estate career, going through that as well. And there's really nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. All right. So this is what I always believe in. Okay. Despite the fact that a lot of people say that, hey, you are running your own business, am I right? The big question mark is, are you really running your own business? And I thought that when I founded Esprit in year 2000, I thought that, hey, I'm a business owner, I'm running my business. But to my horror, all right, I want to be very frank with everyone. To my horror, okay, after running the business for, say, about 13, 14 years, between 2000 to 2013, 14, and I woke up one morning and come to self-realization that I'm not even running the business. What I was doing was actually pushing for sales. It's all about sales. So soon I learned, all right, there are two things that's different between running a business and I'm actually doing sales and getting my team to do sales. Yes, they perform very wonderful. They are making money and I'm making money. But there's one thing, the difference lies in such that to me, sales is only part of the business. Yeah. And as much as what everyone or these days, a message over the last couple of years say, hey, you're running the business, you're running the business. I personally see from my perspective, a majority of the agents, negotiator on the ground was exactly as what I was going through. Yeah, because having sales is important, right? Okay, you need an income, you need to support your family, and things are getting more expensive. But then, what is the result at the end of the day? All right, if we continuously just do sales without going into the business, yeah, our productivity will actually reduce. Like it or not, all right, no one can be doing sales for 10, 15 years and the sales just keep going up. It doesn't work that way. So I soon realized running the business takes a lot more than sales, takes a lot more than getting people to be able to have a higher income. But the most important thing is to grow them, all right, because this is a profession and this is a career, all right. And to me, I've been in the business for 26 years now, okay, and I truly enjoyed every single moment of it. It has changed my life. And for one thing, yeah, when I soon realized that this is about running a business, growing the people, not only is sustainable, it will lead to greater things. It will lead to not only the team growing, but able to make a positive difference to each and everyone, under the firm, under the company. So, to me, is two different in terms of sales and running the business. Yeah, over to you, Caroline. We can't hear you, Caroline. You're muted.
Sorry. So once again, thank you so much, Mr. Aldrin Tan, for your insight sharing on the agenda for today. Okay, so what we pick up just now from Mr. Aldrin is that staying together, okay, and also moving forward together. Now you see the key point here that we pick up is the togetherness, because you cannot do this race alone. You have to do it together as a team to be able to sail as far as possible. All right, and also the learning curve here is about the differentiation about running the business and also doing your own personal sales, right? So because as we know that when you become your own principal, okay, your agenda will tend to change, right? So we'll hear more about this from the rest of the session. So now let's go on to Dato Adrian. What do you think about the agenda for today's sharing as well?
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you. Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you.
Speaking, without MCO, actually, we can't having a chance to share so much of things. I think for these 19, 20 days of MCO, every day 3 p.m., I also learning a lot from the rest of the speaker. So some of the principals that call me during this period say they are very down. They don't know what to do. But I told them, actually, within our three of us, we are very busy. In fact, I'm much more busy than the previous day, because every day we have to think of what to share, what kind of topics so can benefit to everyone. So over this period, we have actually come up with something, because of three of us, we empower together, we come together and empower together, so that all this can share to our negotiators and even to the people who are not joining into our industry. So this afternoon, we are thinking to take out this chance to share with every one of you. Some of that, I think the participants are negotiators, RES, some are leaders, some are principals. So I think they are very interested to know along these 20 over years, how is our journey like? Because I seldom share a lot in the to a lot of people how we actually gone through. So today, this afternoon, I'm thinking to pick some of the things that to share with you. How actually am I going through the whole entire almost about 15 years? Because over this setting up a company 15 years, we have I've gone through two kind of difficulty in 2008 financial crisis, global financial crisis, and recently this COVID-19 pandemic. One thing I realized property is actually interrelated to a lot of sectors, not only to a real estate agent. You see, property is interrelated to the business. Any business, they need a property, even to financial sector and to investor. So especially this pandemic, I see one thing that is quite scary. You can see business closing down. Some of the REN couldn't serve the loan and then become bankruptcy. Some of the property in the town cannot be rented out. All this problem has been come out, and then even to to the real estate owners, some of them are struggling, don't know what to do. So I come up with one concept. Sustainability is very important, is to move forward, right? Sustainability, especially during this pandemic, if you remember during MCO1 last year, there's a lot of vegetable from the Cameron Highland cannot be shipped down, cannot be transported down to Kuala Lumpur. So KL is actually suddenly short of vegetable. Same to Singapore, because our Malaysia food cannot transfer to Singapore. Singapore got one time panic about there's no fresh food from overseas. So after that, I think every country is looking into sustainability, same as the real estate business. So I try, and three of us, we use our experience to come out and brainstorm, to come up with something new, so that we see a better light, see the better future for us. Right? In this afternoon, come along, ask more questions so that we can always learn from each other. Thank you very much. Back to you, Karen.
All right, thank you so much, Dato Adrian. Wow, that was a very insightful sharing as well. So now the key point I pick up here is also about coming together, because I think at this moment, no one can do this alone. Yeah, not even the world richest person can do this alone, because everything has to be done together. All right, so at the same time, Dato Adrian also mentioned about him being very busy, because while creating this platform is also an inspiring session to all the real estate negotiators out there, whether you are new, you are running towards your veteran of doing this business. I think that, for all stages, this is actually very, very beneficial. So for those who actually join us from day one until today, you have to give yourself a pat on your back, okay? Because very, very good. This is to show that you have got discipline to learn and to grow. All right. And also Dr. Adrian mentioning about businesses tumbling, bankruptcies going around, and also struggling among all the other traders. And also the most important key point here that we have is called sustainability, okay, whereby this can actually help us to move forward. So thank you so much, Dato Adrian, for your sharing. How about Kai? Kai, how about your views on the agenda for today?
Yep. I think I'll just keep it short and sweet. My two keywords, of course, it would be networking and upskilling lah. I think a few items Adrian and Aldrin has already mentioned lah. The whole idea is to be on the same raft. And when I learned from my mentor, right, this person is of 100 million USD valuation, and he's telling me, this Asian mentality, we always have a problem. We have a problem with humility. Okay, you might think Asians, we are very humble. Okay, but against the normal train of thought, I would say we are stupidly humble. Okay, why? Because every time paise, want to ask for help, paise, want to ask for network, paise, want to ask for training from the leaders, paise. Okay, and then my mentor tell me, every time 7:30 in the morning I wake up, the first thing I do is call for help. And a very interesting story to share. Bandar Sunway Lagoon, the water dried up before. Last time Selangor got a lot of water problem. Just by Tan Sri Jeffrey Cha calling the IJM boss, they sent about 8 lorries of water just to power up Sunway Lagoon. So you imagine that people at the Tan Sri level also every morning wake up, call for help. And I think with the first pandemic, the second pandemic, it's clear enough to see, even for myself, I would say I don't have the years of experience like Aldrin and Adrian. So very similarly, my first movement was call for help. Okay, call for help, continue to network. And the second portion, upskilling, I just give a few tips other than following our 3 p.m. Training just to get your energy, just to upskill. Think beyond your industry as well, okay? Always go into Eventbrite, LinkedIn, and even Facebook Marketplace. There is a lot of courses for you to upskill. You can go for public speaking courses, you can go for marketing courses, you can even go for financial management courses. It's all free. And I think the message of today is similar, is solidarity. It's about people sharing their network, sharing their knowledge, sharing their information. So I already give 3 simple examples on how they can go up to upskill. So in this time, let's try to be humble and be really humble. Meaning, when we know we are not performing, or when we know even when we are performing, but performance is not of the peak level, the only way to get better performance is either you spend more money or you gain more skill. All right, and the only way to gain more skill is to ask for help. Okay, so that's the message I leave, short and simple. It's solidarity. We have to network, we have to upskill.
All right, thank you so much, Kai. Well, that was a very good sharing as well, because networking and upskill is something that a lot of people miss out, okay, especially when they're too busy doing a lot of other things, okay, and also talking about, you know, the paise, to ask the leaders to help and things like that. Now, for those who are not understanding what's the meaning of paise, in Malay it's called segan, okay, jangan segan nak tanya, sebab if let's say you segan, semua pun cannot move forward, right? So once you open your mouth to ask, this is where you start to accumulate your benefit for yourself to grow. Okay, and at the same time, I think Kai, I won't agree 100% with you about the lack of experience, because honestly, you are the Gen Y representative. Okay, so that makes you very important from now on until then, because you are the one who is going to help drive the real estate to the next level. Okay, now you pair with the seafoods like Dato, Adrian, and also Aldrin Tan. Now you have got the best platform to actually sail this together, because you're going to carry this to the next level. Okay, so I will not want to agree with you that you don't have that enough experience, but you have your strength. Okay, and also on social media, okay, Kai also mentioned about social media to help you to upskill yourself for free. Okay, so now Malaysians like the word FOC, right? Free of charge. So don't just sit down there and do nothing, but you have your mobile phones with you, your devices with you. Log into any of the platform and start to learn something, because I believe all these 3 leaders here today, they did not start with doing nothing. All right, so thank you so much all together, 3 of you, very good agenda sharing. Now this is moving on to our real questions. Now I do not see many questions coming in the chat, but I do have some direct messages coming in for me. Okay, so I will read the direct messages questions first. All right, so question to the 3 leaders, right? Anyone can answer. Okay, is competing or differentiating a more important aspect in running the real estate business? So I repeat the question, is competing or differentiating a more important aspect in running the real estate business?
Want to answer first?
Go with Kai first. Kai, your answer.
Yeah, you want to share from next generation.
Gen Y.
Gen Y.
Great, Kai, take it away.
Okay. Of course, differentiation lah. I don't believe in competing at all lah, because competing, in my opinion, is never ending lah. So I've also when I run my agencies, I try to study other agencies. Similarly, when I was a team leader, I try to study other team leaders. So when I was a negotiator, I try to study other negotiators. And if we go with the same idea of this guy drop price, I drop my price further, or this guy spend this much in advertisement, I spend more, who will win? It's just who got more money who will win lah, right? And is the business sustainable? No, it's not. It's a one-off because it's whoever wins that client at that time by spending more. Whereas if you focus more on your service, like Adrian gave a quite good training session where he followed up with this gentleman named Koya, if I'm not mistaken. That was quite a good sharing. He actually asked for the rating. He followed up and see whether the person is okay or not. And he gave a very macro perspective on the whole land possibility, even down to the detail of the turning circle and the ins and out of how these people are going to come to this development. So I think for us, if we keep on competing for clients or competing for business, we are in a rat race lah. I would prefer if all the negotiators here don't everybody run in the same rat race lah. Find different ways to get your leads and make sure spend more time with your clients, because I realize a lot of negotiators, right, they don't have long-term clients. I always tell my negotiators, you must be the negotiator or the consultant where you point, they buy. You know, some negotiators are very powerful. You point, people buy. Why? Because they trust you. They believe in your service. So revert back to the same thing. Upskill yourself so much so that you would be different, that your service is not easily found on the market. Okay, I always tell the negotiators, I will charge 3% plus 5,000 for my consultancy in any transaction. Why? Because you go out to all the other negotiators, you are basically a Bonia. You come to me, you are a Prada or LV lah. So depends what type of service you would like lah. So I think differentiate lah is my main key highlight.
Okay, thank you so much, Kai. How about Dato Adrian? What do you think about the question about competing and differentiating, you know, the aspect of it?
Okay, for personally, I also don't like to be compete with a lot of people. So I still differentiating is very important. Just like what Ma Yun actually last time when he was a CEO, he mentioned that as long as Alibaba be a bit of difference than the Amazon, actually they can capture quite a lot of differences. So that's why he make it to be the one of the largest in the so-called buying and selling platform in China and in the Southeast Asia. And then he also mentioned that try not to kill your competitors. So if you kill the competitors already, right? You will not don't know whether you're doing better than them or not, because there is not a benchmark to compare. Actually, the competitors is actually help us to grow together and to scale up together as well. So especially now in real estate business, also some of the firm is doing much better than us. So we learn from them. We learn from them actually what are the things that apply is better for us to, as a company to follow through. Then we try to engage some expert to come in to learn together. When it comes to the real estate agents, just now actually Kai mentioned that the last Saturday I shared a deal. Yeah, I totally act differently than other estate agents how to sell a property. I give a lot of perspective, like I stand at their purchaser's point of view. When you want to buy a property, what do you expect the agent to tell me? Because I also gone through some selling property through another agent. Sometimes some of the services are really not to the standard, especially in Malaysia. Maybe there's some of the agents are not being well trained, or they never upkeep themselves. Compare, I have experience in Australia, the rental market and the selling market, they are so good. But doesn't mean Malaysia doesn't have, but it's still got. But we're trying to scale up most of the people. Hopefully in one day, we can find 6 or 70% of the negotiators are actually up to the scale. These kind of things. And to me, I use as keep learning, never stop learning, read from the successful people and get some mentor to advise, especially mentorship. Not necessarily you need to get somebody from this industry. Perhaps people are not from this industry can be a better mentor also, because they think really anything. They give you crazy kind of the idea, very different than what the expectation. So once we learn, we listen already, we see whether it can apply into the real estate. If they can be applied, that means you are the first one to be used in the market. So probably to get a few mentor, not necessarily only one mentor, get a few, so that your perspective will be different. Back to you, Karen. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Adrian. Wow, this is a different level of sharing as well. How about Mr. Aldrin Tan? What do you think about this question about competing and differentiating aspect in the real estate business?
Okay, all right. Competing now. Okay, if we look at the word compete, so why would we want to compete? We want to be better, am I right? So from my perspective, this is also based on my experience. Those days when I started, from the ground, you put the posters, you put the banners and things like that. I think both are equally important. But don't get me wrong, all right? To me, for years, I tell myself and I tell a lot of people, competition will keep us to be progressive and will actually help us to build the drive. Okay. However, all right. However, our competitors, to me, are not our competitors out there. It's not another negotiators. It's not another sales agent. It's we ourselves. All right. So, from my perspective, if we do not have the level of competition to upgrade ourselves, all right, then how are we going to progress? Okay, and this is what I see to a lot of people. Okay, so many of us will go into, let's say, a session of motivation, and we'll look up to the people who are successful. Am I right? Could be a top performer. It could be someone that is has achieved, the goals that they want to achieve, and it's the same goals that we also want to achieve. So we look up to these people. But how many of us really religiously practice what the successful people has actually, have been going through? And I can tell you, success doesn't come easy. Success comes from a lot of failures. Yeah. So, and I totally agreed with Kai and also Dato Adrian as well. Differentiating is also another element that is highly important. Now, if we do not differentiate ourselves, how can we stay competitive in the eyes of others? Yeah. So, so the thing is this. Competition is important, but do not compete for the sake of you want to be better than the others and you lose track that you need to differentiate yourself. Upskilling is very important. Staying relevant, coming to training, all right, learning is part of your business. Yeah. And I always say this, the product that you sell is actually your service. Okay, the property is just a commodity. So if you do not constantly improve your service, by differentiating, by doing, learning, upskilling, and a lot of things, as what, Dato Adrian and Kai have said, you will lose the race immediately within yourself, all right? And then how are you going to have a career growth in this business? Yeah, this is a career, this is not a part-time job. Hey, you come and do some sales and close some commission, and then, okay, then, I can pay my installment for the next month, okay? Remember, success is not easy. To me, competition is me, myself, and I think that everyone, in my perspective, should also look from that angle, and then your life will be a lot happier. Because you want to know something? If you start competing with the rest of the people out there, okay, number one, they could have way ahead of you, but that doesn't mean you do not have the capability, all right? Because I do not believe whether you are one day in the industry or you're 30 years in the industry means you're longer, means you're more competitive. No, it's how much you want to grow yourself. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Aldrin Tan. Wow, okay, this is something very different, because what I can observe here is that the three agency leaders here, they actually gave a very, very good overview of sharing on the two elements of competing and also on the differentiation. Because I feel that, well, if you look at a positive note, right? So competition is good, right? Because if there's no competition, you cannot progress, right? You cannot propel your real estate business, all right? So this is how I feel. And I think that is so true, because if your mindset is positive, you will look at the competition in a more positive angle, whereby you will actually use the competition as your means of success, right? Because you want to do better, or you want to emulate what, like what Mr. Aldrin Tan was saying, you look up to successful business moguls, right? How they actually succeed in their lives, right? It doesn't mean whether they have been long in the business or not. Sometimes it is the technique. Okay, and also according to Dato Adrian about differentiation, okay, do not kill your competitors. Now that is a very good point, okay, because if you kill your competitors, then I don't know, what do you think? Okay, maybe you guys can give some comments on that as well, because I think that competition, if you look at it on the right side, okay, competition is healthy. Okay, competition is healthy. And also on the Kai mentioned competition will never end. Okay, because wherever you go, all right, whether it's a business or even on your personal scale, competition is everywhere, isn't it? When we were young, okay, every time our parents will talk about, hey, who has the better grade, your sibling or yourself. So competition never ends. But if you look back in life, competition is actually good for us, because if you look at it on a positive note, competition is the one that will propel you, okay, to do better in life. All right, so that is a very good question, and also very good sharing from the three of the agency leaders. Thank you so much. So okay, moving on next, I can see that in the chat we have got one from Irene Siu. Okay, Irene, I see you every day. That's very good. Thank you for your question. Okay, I see you smiling there. Okay, so Irene Siu's question is, should practice wake up early during FMCO2? Okay, should practice wake up early. So I think what she's trying to say is that maybe during the FMCO, everyone can't go out, you can't do sales, right? You can't do physical sales. So do they need to actually go through the routine that they have been doing, so what do y'all think? Maybe Aldrin want to take that question first.
Okay, I am one person that I wake up early. All right, for 20 over years, I look forward to go to the office. Yeah, and to the extent my wife always asks me, hey, why you wake up so early? During weekdays and weekend, you sleep until 11, 12. Okay, so you wake up early also kena taruh. Okay, but there is one thing. Why I wake up early and religiously for many, many, many years. All right, it almost become an instant what you call natural alarm clock. This eventually leads to habits. Yeah. Those days when I first started being an agent, I tell myself, hey, no one is going to pay me a salary. Am I right? So and I'm running my business, so I must have the revenue. So from a simple point of numbers in terms of the more hours that you work, all right? And let's talk about productivity first. Let's talk about the number of hours. The more hours that you work, okay, there's a correlations with your revenue, and that is provided if you focus in that business. Yeah, all right. Every single minute of your 7 hours, 6 hours, or your 10 hours or 12 hours in doing this business, ask yourself, all right, are you really focusing? So to me, waking up early is good. Yeah, it will eventually create a lot of other habits that will really help you to grow your business. Yeah, and of course, you also got to manage your family, your personal life as well. I can see Kai there laughing.
Okay, let me share something. I personally, I also wake up early, looking forward to go to office early. I also have a natural clock, wake up at around 7 o'clock. But to wake up early is determined equivalent to successful life or not, very subjective, right? Or especially as a real estate agent, some people work quite late, some people wake up late also. It all depends on your segment. I come across one of the negotiators. He worked quite late, sometimes even 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning. But he woke up also very late, about 9 something to 10. But what I asked him what's the reason he has to wake up so early? Because when I wake up early, I sometimes text him, he never reply, or he said he actually went out with his client trying to sell some property, because his portfolio are those investment product. So every night he has to hang out, meeting them, drinking, you know, and by the time they reach home, it's about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So he also doing quite well, but anything is, I advise him to sleep early because to the personal health lah, you know, because he drink a lot, so it's not good for health. But basically, in terms of monetary and in terms of his lifestyle, he enjoy it. So depends on which perspective that you are looking at. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dato Adrian. How about Kai? Do you have anything to share on that part?
I agree with both of them lah, and reiterate what Aldrin mentioned lah. It's about mirroring people that are successful, and if your business operation hours is within the 9 to 9 time, then you better be up before that time starts lah. Yeah, so I agree with both of them. Yeah, nothing much.
All right, so that means to say that in short to say it is a habit, it is a good habit for you to wake up early. As I can see that some chats here, they mentioned about, you know, they wake up early, which is very good, 7 o'clock in the morning, and also the early birds catches the worm. Okay, that is a very common saying, which is actually true as well, right? If you want to get the best, you have to do it as early as possible and also be ahead of all your competition, right? And also, Dato Adrian was talking about biological clock, waking up at 7 in the morning. Wow, that is very good, because once you wake up so early, you can do so many things. And by the time you are done, it is still very, very early in the morning. And not forgetting, Aldrin Tan mentioned about managing and balancing family life. So I hope that he walks the talk. Yeah, because that is actually very important, because for all of you out there who are married, who are going to get married, or who actually have partners, do not neglect your partners, yeah, because at the end of the day, they are all your support that you need. But what is important is to align your partners as well. So if you have a spouse who is also in the real estate business, that would be awesome, because I always feel that in my personal experience, when a husband and wife do this together, okay, in the same industry, you will have the sky as your limit, okay, because you guys are the synergy, all right, you are the soulmate of one another, and also you speak the same language. So when both of you are on the same page with the same alignment, okay, that is where you can propel, once again, okay, in what our topic is today, propel your real estate business into the future. I think this is a very strong point. So those who are not married, please go and find someone who is in the real estate industry, okay? All right, thank you so much. So I don't see any more questions over here. Let me see. Okay, from CTB More. Please ask the speakers what time they call off. Oh, okay. So one is about waking up early. The other one is about calling off the day. Now the question is, please ask the speakers. Sorry, the question just ran a little bit away. Okay, please ask the speakers what time they call off a day to go to bed. So what time you all call it a day?
Sometimes being a real estate agent, I also don't know what is the time of the ending, you know. Like always ready, like a doctor, is it? Always on call, ever ready. Is a messages coming in around 11:30 also I have to answer, but generally I will go to the bed. I go to bed around 11.
That's a very good timing, Dato Adrian, very good. How about Aldrin Tan?
Mine is a bit erratic. It ranges between 1 to 3 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. I think basically there's a lot of thought process happening. Yeah. And as a leader and also as a business owner, it's actually a very heavy responsibility. Yeah, heavy responsibility in the sense that not only we are able, or rather we are required to make a difference to everyone on the ground, we will also want to grow them. We also want to make sure that, especially times like that during FMCO, yeah, or during this pandemic, not only the business of the agents on the ground, the welfare as well. So, so to me, 1 to 3 a.m. Yeah, so a bit erratic. So yeah.
Okay, 1 to 3 a.m. How about Kai, yourself?
I clock off based on priority, but I would say generally around 1 a.m. But for clients and all that, 10 p.m. is the latest lah. For partners, anytime. So for team leaders also anytime. For my senior negotiators also anytime. But as for clients, all 10 p.m. I have to clock off already lah. But let me just add a small little thing lah for all the single ladies and gentlemen here, because Adrian and Aldrin represent the married side. Let me represent the side that is not married. So those of you that are not married, maybe in your 20 plus, this would resonate well. Okay, my first mentor, not the other mentor I'm talking about, always tell me, hey, at your age, I work 15, 16 hours a day, and I work hard and I work smart also. You only work 8, 9 hours, how to catch up with me? So that was a very scary thought. And actually, there's a Chinese saying, I think Terence shared with me before. Maybe you can share, Terence. Something about a person working harder, working smarter than you, and that is the most scariest factor. There's about 40,000 of us. Terence, can you share what's that saying in Mandarin?
The saying is that in Chinese, he said, 比你更厉害的人都比你还更努力. Yeah. So what's the reason for us to slow down, especially we are already left behind? Yeah.
Yeah. So while we are young, I realize a lot of younger generation, they try to be smart before they understand hard. So anybody from 20 to 30, don't try to be smart lah. Just learn how to work hard first. Learn how to grind 12 to 16 hours a day. If you can't do that, don't do business. Okay, because in our line, like everyone agree lah, it's every day. So 20 to 30 years old, you are expected to work 12 to 16 hours. Don't think about being smart. Understand what is hard first. Then only think about being smart.
All right, thank you so much, Kai. That is like I said, a sharing on a different gen, right?
Can I add on just a very quick one? I totally agree with Kai. So now this is what I see to a lot of people these days. All right. There's so many education session going around. There's just so many motivator, telling you that, hey, what is the best way to do it? Yeah. So to me, I agree with Kai. If you want to work smart, you got to start working harder. Yeah. And a minimum hours of time. Yeah. So this is like a theory. This is like those chemistry theory. The theory works. Okay. But when you go to the lab, you try, those days, remember when we happen to do science, you are given a theory of what mixture, plus one mixture, and you go to the science lab. How many times we almost burn down the science lab? Okay, even though we know the theory. So practice made perfect. Okay, and the more you practice, the more you will be able to know naturally by yourself how to work smart. Yeah, in a very ironic way. Yeah, sometimes we do not, or you do not need someone to tell you how to work smart. You just got to find it your way, and you will be able to find your way. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Aldrin Tan. Now, well, that is 3 different kinds of sharing, right? Because started with Dato Adrian. He actually sleeps at 11 as far as he can, because that is actually the way that he can actually upkeep his youth, right? And also the health, okay, as you can see the radiance from his face, right? Okay, so it's very important as well to once again achieve the balance, because while you do not want to neglect your clients, there is always a benchmark to what time they're going to call, because they can't call you at 11, 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, whereby it will disrupt your sleep, your rest, and also your family life. Okay, but as for Aldrin Tan, he says he sleeps at 1 to 3. Well, actually, I would suggest that you have to work your way towards sleeping earlier, because I believe that Aldrin Tan is a workaholic. So whereby workaholic, you do not know a time to stop. So for you guys who are out there, be like Kai, okay, full of energy, all right, work smart, okay, and also learn from the best, okay, because at the end of the day, I always believe that, there is always a time for rest and a time for work. Okay, because when we were younger, okay, we always play hard, right? We play so hard because we were young. But now when we are older, what we have to do is we have to play smart, okay? Because that's what it is. So I believe the 3 agencies coming together is also because they have got one mission. The mission is to automate this industry so that all the rents are equipped, okay, or geared up to know what to do in terms of any kinds of situation, even in pandemic, or even in good times, right? Because as you can see, the leaders already have gone through 2 or 3 kinds of crisis, like Dato Adrian in 2008, the Asian financial crisis, and also the pandemic right now. And also for Aldrin, I believe that he has gone through those crises as well. So to me, is the take home here for sleeping at night is you decide it yourself, because in the end of the day, you are the one who is responsible for yourself and also for your business. So have a balance of both. All right. Okay. So thank you so much for the 3 of you speakers. Okay. Now I have got another question coming in. Okay. Is running through these few decades, how has the agency practice evolved to further empower their rents? So I repeat the question, running through these few decades, how has the agency practice evolved to further empower their rents? So maybe Aldrin, you want to start with that first?
Yeah, okay, like what I shared earlier on, okay, when I started Esprit in year 2000, so I thought I was running the business, yeah. Perhaps I was, because those days, this business was just very straightforward. It's all about sales, we don't have to manage so many people, and the margin was higher, all right. But let's not kid ourselves, okay, because the whole market, the business model has changed, yeah, to the extent the margin to the company is it could be as thin as a Gillette blade, you know what I mean? And so the constant, the so-called constant pressure from people on the ground is, everyone just want to have a higher margin for themselves, and they expect a lot more and things like that. So so that was a point about 4 or 5 years ago that I realized that, building just on the sales itself, while that is important, it's not going to be a sustainable way. And so if you ask me, apart from providing, the coaching, the training, the technology, I think there are 2 parts that's highly important. Yeah. Okay. The first part is actually the business opportunity. Yeah, and I believe a platform these days must be able to give a value of there's a business opportunity. Business opportunity in terms of say, for example, okay, yeah, project marketing, yeah, a lot of people are doing it, but different people, different platform will do it very differently. Yeah, so that is one. And number 2, to me, coaching is highly important. Yeah, so I myself, I also have a coach, or you can call it a mentor. For me, I call it a coach. Yeah, I literally pay on monthly basis a fairly good sum, all right, to a coach. They actually coach me as well. So likewise, okay, on a platform these days, coaching to me is highly important, because a platform that can coach you how to run your business better is the one that's going to make a positive difference to you. And part of the important thing about coaching is this: there's one element. How do you capitalize, okay, from the things that you have, all right, from the client that you have, from the listing that you have, from the platform of the firm that you have that is providing whatever values, okay. How can you capitalize? Many a times, a lot of people ask, so what can your company provide? Am I right? So what is the support? Okay, and always goes in my mind is this: how are you able to capitalize? A lot of platform will give you support, all right? But to me, the greatest, I don't like to say failure. The part of the reason as to why a majority of the negotiators on the ground are not successful in their own terms is because they do not know how to capitalize the things that they have that is in front of them. And if each and everyone know how to capitalize, I can tell you great things will happen. Your sales will go up, your life will change. And so coaching on how to capitalize, I think is also one of the key things. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Ms. Aldrin. Why not we get one more speaker to answer on this question? Anyone
Okay.
wants to start?
Let me answer this because over the decades, I fully experienced some of the thing actually Adrian had gone through because we started the business around the same time. As usual, I take a very good example. Previously, when the business started, we only do one training a month. Then after a few years, do twice training a month. Then after that, weekly training. Now it's a daily training. You see, we treat our REN also a business partner, and then they're also our client. I always tell my back end support, our REN also our client. They're also our staff, and then they can be our partner because they bring revenue to the company. So being a client to our platform, so they always ask more. What can you do for us more? So these are the things that we keep on doing on the daily basis. Again, I'm in the future coming from more. Most important is how to get them a value. You see, when the value of closing a deal, sometimes it's not like 1 + 1 = 2. If 1 + 1 = 2 is so easy, right? I can just automatically to train so many people, duplicate myself to so many REN. The problem is it sometimes is intangible. So all we have to really come together, look at the situation. Some deal when come along, right? The situation is different, so we have to use other tactic to get it close, to get it done. So for a principal position, if you need it, all right, if you don't need it, actually it's redundant. I put it this way. So if you need it the time, wow, they are God lah, you know. So we are the kind of position, no, I would say we always 24 hours standby to help every one of you to go through this. Thank you very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, Dato Adrian. So both of our veterans, agency leaders, okay, who has actually more than 20 years of experience in the property market, actually do share the same view, yeah. Because basically, Aldrin mentioned about business opportunity, okay, where you can actually add value, and also coaching that is highly important. And Dato Adrian also concur the same because as we go along, more and more rents that come in, okay. Basically, rents are also our staff and also our clients. So therefore, to grow them is also to grow on other stages as well. All right. So coaching is very important because you provide the support. Okay. So now while they are providing support, the rents also must be there, right? Like they always say, when the doctor is ready, where's the patient? You know, patient is not there. So I think basically it has to work two ways, whereby when the doctor is ready, where in this layman term, the agencies principals are there to help you. You have to put your hand out there for them to be able to reach out to you, right? And also based on what Aldrin Tan was mentioning about is capitalizing on this platform. Okay, because however the agency is evolving, in the end of the day, what you cannot run away is learning. Okay, because learning is what it does to propel your business again. Okay, so thank you so much, Dato Adrian and also Aldrin, for your sharing. So moving on to the next question. Now, a brief answer to Irene Siu's question about people call during midnight to ask for the houses. Now, I personally, as a moderator, I would feel that we mentioned about it just now during the earlier question, that we have to set a time where you manage your clients and also your personal life. If people call you during the midnight, I just feel that if you do not answer the call and you call them back first thing in the morning, they will know that you mean business. Because to me, is business comes at business hours, all right? Because we are not an emergency doctor in the hospital. We are property doctors, am I right? So property doctors means to say that you give your professional advice during your professional time. Okay, so I think
Kevin, maybe in future, right, we can do a 24-hour chatting that even though I'm asleep, but my robot will answer automatically.
Wow, I like that, Dr. Adrian. Actually, that's a very good pointer. So which means to say that there are some platform right now, they are doing a 24-hour customer service whereby there will be a some like AI to help answer questions, right, Dato? Are you saying that?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
This is the dream I want to achieve.
Yeah, and this is something that we will be also developing in the future. Yeah, all right. So my side, then Dato Adrian Kai, we also discuss about it. Not only AI chatbot in that way that is 24/7 to our client, but to our agents as well. Yeah, so something interesting coming up. Yeah.
Stay
Wow,
tuned.
thank you so much. So you see, Irene, congratulations for your questions, because that opened up another platform to all the rents. So I would like to encourage everyone here, okay, this is an opportunity for you to actually bring your new, friends, or even your neighbors, your spouse, who want to come into property line, to come and join this platform, because you don't have to do the work yourself. That is the wonderful part of it, because the platform is already set up and it's ready to go. So once you bring your rents, what you need to do is just to bring them in, right? Then after that, they will learn from this platform and they will be under you. So I think that is such a powerful platform, because those days agents will have to do A to Z, whereas now you just do the A and the rest will be done up to Z. Okay, so I think that is a really wonderful platform. All right, so moving on to our next question is, what does a winning agency look like in the year 2030? Wow, okay, so now it's 2021. What does a winning agency look like in the year 2030? Visualization in the next 10 years. So
I start with the short answer lah.
All right, Kai, take it away.
Definitely. We talk about feng shui also. I think a little bit the other day. So it's the now fire element, right?
Yeah.
So definitely the winning agency moving forward in the next 20 years will be technological based lah. Okay. I think now we are in what, Earth element.
Ending
the earth element already lah, moving into the fire. So it will be technological based, but not only technology, because I don't think that technology is the sole thing that makes the transaction. Technology basically is the fuel lah that makes the transaction faster and more transparent. So if the winning agency have technology to make transactions faster, more efficient and more transparent, that agency will be ahead lah. So things like online office, they can be from Terengganu, but they can still transact online. They don't have to be around. E-signing. Other than that, a good database that they can access online rather than calling their leader for that database. Then Metapod, things like Metapod viewing also. If they have to go somewhere else, they can actually 3D view and at least move the lead from a cold lead to a warm lead to a hot lead lah. So very technological based, so that the speed will be faster. And then the second point is service lah, because if the agency don't focus on making sure that the negotiators that come out are all of a certain professional standard, they will lose out as well. So these two biggest things will couple to make the winning agency lah. The people, the service, and the technology that creates the transparency for it. Yeah. So we, of course, I need not say lah, we are working very hard in that direction lah. If we realize that's what we want, we are moving towards that direction lah.
Especially in future, the valuation to the agent, evaluation to the agents also maybe going to be very important. Especially now, if you go to Lazada to buy things, you look at the review, right? So all these things will be to review to the agent, so the professional agent will stand better chance to get the business done. And then to come to the for the next 10 years, I think we are quite far behind already in terms of property transaction. Today, one of our speakers mentioned about to transact a Malaysia property take about 3 to 4 months. Many countries are taking about less than 1 month to get the property transaction. So this one have to be we have to come out from our practice to propose to the government and then make our business become very efficient. Very, very important. Let's say we want to catch up to the share market, especially since last year, some of the property investors, why go into the share market? Even share market, they are now going into US market, Hong Kong market, even Singapore market, not Malaysian market. What is the reason? Because like globalization, platform become very easy. Everybody just can go online to register a trading account, American trade or whatever, right? You can trade the whole world. So the investors have plenty of choices to put their money. And come to property, also the same thing. When, let's say, for example, we are very efficient, let's say our agents are within our platform, they are very efficient, we can perhaps selling some property in other part of the world. Not necessarily in Malaysia, look at this way. Our HQ can be in Malaysia, but our business can be in other part of the world. This is the thing that I want to do. Why I want to mention that, because for the past 7 years, I did sell Australia property and UK property. Sometimes I find it's not difficult to sell those property, especially the AI is there, the data is there, all the services are there. It's easy for us to sell. So if come to our platform, let's say we integrated others country property into our platform, our agent benefit. So today in Malaysian market, not good, don't sell Malaysia. Sell maybe property now in Singapore is very well. Property in China is doing very well. So just do the transaction on that kind of property. So globalization, REN should read more, go into bigger perspective. Don't only, let's say you are only KL agent, just look at KL. Should explore to Selangor. After Selangor, where else? Penang, Johor Bahru, overall study. If Malaysia, you capture everything, okay, start to look into the neighboring country to provide a solid investment to our clients. This is the aim we are going for. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dato Adrian. Well, that is actually covering everything that is needed in the next 10 years, right? Like what Kai was mentioning about technology, and also Dato Adrian talking about globalization, and also doing beyond where you are today in our country, right? You can go globally. And also at the same time, valuation to our clients is also very important, right? So basically, I think this is where we are going to move forward, because everything is going to go on virtual, virtual reality, everything to do with technology. So I think you have to gear yourself up. You have to be tech savvy. You have to make sure you are in the know with whatever that is needed for propelling this as well, okay? Because I think what is important is you cannot just do what you are today, okay? You have to do beyond your grounds, all right? Thank you so much, Dato Adrian, and also Kai, for your sharing. We have got one from GS Chia. This question is to Dato Adrian. Can you comment on being an estatepreneur and real estate negotiator? What is the difference? So comment on estatepreneur.
Yeah, recently CBD actually we come up with this keyword called real estatepreneur than real estate negotiators. The meaning is very different, you see. Real estate negotiator normally, okay, they want to join into this industry, only go for the 2 days course with the board and then get the REN number. They get the listing, they put in the money in the advertisement, they market, sell, and then move on, sell, after move on again, keep on searching. But let's say in terms of estatepreneur, like just now Mr. Aldrin said, we are actually doing business, we are in the business. Even though you are REN, you must think of you are in the business. Okay, when you are in the business, you know how to do budgeting. You must think about sustainability, and you must then think of how you're going to grow. All these things, all these components have to come together. Then you will see your journey is attractive, your journey is meaningful for the estatepreneur. All right, that's why we launched this. Also, I take this one also from one of the day I read one of the article from the autonomous of cars to apply the autonomous this thing into our REN. So when you have this one, when you want to be autonomous, so when you break down, when the car break down, they know how to rectify. You see some of the movie like James Bond, the car can automatically repair the engine or reset their system. So for our real estate business also, one day it has to be like that. Cannot be every time a principal as a problem, go to the principal will take about, let's say, a few hours to come back to you to solve it. Why I come up with this thing, because sometimes efficiency also play a role. Some of the negotiator look for me while I in the meeting, I delay replying them for 1 or 2 hours. I find it very inefficient. So when this thing Estatepreneur launch, I wanted everybody to be automated, autonomous, to use some of the common sense, use some of the concept and logical concept and the psychology concept to come up with the better proposal to the client. You see, sometimes being a real estate agents, right, we cannot be too logical. Sometimes too logical is very rigid. When the problem comes, 1 + 1 equal to 2 times.
Okay.
It's very difficult. Sorry. The line is lagging. Sorry. Hello. Can you hear me, right?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So when you use the too much logical mind to close a deal, right, it becomes very rigid. Sometimes when the client comes a little bit different of the inquiry, you don't know how to solve the issue already. So always have to balance. Okay. So because I was an engineer, I was very logical person. When I do it too logical, right, I don't see the result. So I have to shift it to a bit. I would say a bit of using a psychology method to grow it would be, you can see the effect. Maybe in future we'll get somebody to come into our platform to train all this. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dato Adrian. I think we apologize. There is a little bit of glitch on the internet. I think the signal, because I think it's going to have a heavy downpour. Okay, but nonetheless, okay, that is a very good sharing from Dato Adrian. Thank you so much. I hope GS, your question is being answered. But also a quick one from GS also. He has been asking this question twice, okay? He wants to know what is the difference between mentoring and coaching. Maybe, Aldrin, you can take this question.
Mentoring and coaching.
Yes.
Mentoring and coaching. Okay, now to me, I have a mentor. Okay, that mentor actually make a huge difference in my life. Okay, and there's only just one statement, and this was in 1996 February. I always remember that. Okay, so I don't have a constant mentor, so to speak, but this is the one that really makes a difference. So, back in 96, I was young, okay, not that I'm old now. There's only one thing, all right. He was telling me it's probably about 50 plus. Then today is about almost 80 plus. I still keep in touch with him. He was telling me, young man, in life, if you walk on the same path every single day in the same direction, no matter across a field of lalang, no matter how you just walk on the same path, you will eventually create your path, right? So that actually stick in my mind. And so now to me, and in short, all my life I'm a real estate agent. Not only that, I work very hard, earn a lot of income, invest in properties and stuff like that. And along the ways, people ask me, hey, why don't you become an insurance agent? You got a lot of contacts. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? To me, my life is in real estate. Now, when it comes to coaching is the one that, to me, from my perspective, is it's like a sounding board. You know what I mean? Sounding board, like there are things that I carry out, and sometimes I see the results, sometimes I don't. So it's someone that you will reflect. Okay, so that is from my perspective. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Aldrin Tan, for your sharing on mentoring and also coaching. I hope, GS, you get your questions answered. Okay, so now as we are approaching the end of our session, we have got one more last questions coming into me, asking this. Actually, I got quite a number of similarity on this question. What is this solidarity beyond 2021 that we have been seeing since the first day of FMCO? So all three will have to answer this, okay? The title at the back
The
here,
title.
Solidarity
Okay,
Beyond
all right.
2021.
Perhaps I will start. Okay, guys, this solidarity beyond 2021 is not just a theme. All right. It's not just a title that outside. Hey, we thought about it, we come up with it, and it sounds good. This started way back couple of many months ago, even last year as well. When I reach out to Kai and also Dato Adrian as well. To me, this is one thing. This is a movement. Yeah. Okay. Now think about it, everyone. We talk about competitors. We talk about this. We talk about that. We talk about many, many, many things. But this is what I believe in right at the very beginning. Coming together. All right. And able to do things together will give us a good result for each and every one. Okay, so this is actually a movement of coming together, just as simple as what everyone has seen during the 1st of June, daily religiously 3 p.m. Yeah, so I'm sure there's a lot of you have at one point of time think back some values that I hope that you will continue to practice. So this is one, and this is also a movement of solidarity where we come together to the next level. All right, moving forward, there will be quite a lot of things that you will be seeing. Yeah, all right. So all I want to say is this: for those who are already in CBD, in Esprit, and in Profere property, you are already part of this movement. Maybe without you knowing it. All right. For those who are not be part of the movement. All right. This is what I always say. We are not competitors. Yeah. And the power of working together. And that is the most important thing. Yeah. Kai touched on Asian having the what you call humility that we thought that we have. And this is one thing. A lot of times why people cannot work together is because number one is ego. All right. Now, if we can just set aside that, okay, that is the first step moving together so that we can be a stronger group, so that we can bring better values to each and every one. So all I can say is this, all right, when you're already part of these three companies, you're already in this movement. If you are not, be part of this movement, yeah, and great things will happen.
Thank you so much, Aldrin. How about Dato Adrian?
Okay, this movement actually we can see we are pulling a lot of strength together, pulling of talent. Even though also there's a lot of knowledge, experience to share, especially I come to the industrial. Adrian is so experienced, so he taking his own time to teach us module 1, module 2, and module 3. Right, got 2 more modules to go through. If frankly speaking, without this platform, like how much money you need to pay for tuition fee to learn from somebody who has actually 20 over years experience in this market. So we actually cut short a lot of effort and the failure to be successful. Then over this period, 3 of us actually also thinking of future, what the future want. So I believe myself, if I do it alone, it's very, very challenging and it's not conducive itself. So that's why we come together and then collaborate to be the mutually benefit to everybody. Today, like Adrian said, put down the ego and work together. And percentage of the company of share, percentage share of the company doesn't mean anything in the future one. So just like Ma Yun only owns 7% of Alibaba, he become the richest man in the world already. One of the richest men in the world, richest in China, you see. So in future, the economy is the book that we study, right? It's a bit different than the current situation. Now we have to do much more, a bigger macroeconomy for us, right? So and then I look at this 18 days, 19 days of training. It's also speed out a lot of my work. So because of the working together and partners, right? So I become very efficient. So otherwise, would be MCO delay for another two more weeks. Okay, let's sleep another 2 more weeks. Okay, thank you very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you so much, Dato Adrian. How about Kai? What are your views?
My views on this solidarity, I think the ground has been rumbling already lah. Okay, the ground has been rumbling because you hear a lot of people would say, okay, that site got this agency is hosting out with that, this agency is hosting out with that. And we see, we have not seen actually, so far, I don't know, some negotiators might be more experienced than me, but I have not seen 3 agencies come together so willingly. So I think to set out an example, because I also always tell my negotiators, please don't be the agent that pick up the phone and say no co-broke, no co-broke. So whichever negotiators that are doing that, I hope I don't offend you, but that's very old school. Please stop doing that. Speed is important. So one thing that we realize on our agency standards is that sharing is very, very important. And if we don't impart knowledge into each other, don't learn from each other's generation as well, what will happen? We will repeat the same mistake lah. The only reason why we study history is so that we don't repeat the mistake. And history has already told us through agencies that agencies will pick up to about 500-600 people, then they will drop back down to 100-200 people. So if they don't come together fast enough, similarly to the negotiators, you might be a team leader now. If you team leader, you don't combine together and move, then you are just a small team leader. If you 3-4 team leaders can come together, you are probably an agency or a branch on your own already. But it's because of that whole ego, I can do it myself, I don't need help, I try this one out first. That is why most people fail to scale. And for me, myself, I realize how novice I am. So I really need to scale as well. And it's with the right partners from CBD and Esprit, which will enable me to scale. Then trying it out on training is the perfect example on how to start, because training is the easiest to share. If we can first share our knowledge, next we can sure share more. So I think a good start in these 20 days, every day we are sharing our knowledge, we will carry forward from this month. So just from knowledge, then we will move to other things lah. So I hope everyone really stay tuned, because there's a lot that we do not want to repeat, and we are not we do not want to follow history. We want to create history. Okay, we want to be different. We want to create history. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Kai. Thank you so much, all 3 speakers, because today is really a very awe-inspiring session. And also a reminder for every one of you who are still here, okay, because Solidarity Beyond 2021 is a platform for growth. So for you who actually have got, existing agents or agents who wants to come to learn, please do bring them and join us every day, starting from actually day 1 and until the end of the FMCO. If they do not extend, bring your new agents or even friends who wants to join to come and learn, okay? Because where else can actually we get besides having this strong platform for them to grow, okay? This is actually a platform for you to grow as well. So I would strongly encourage you all to bring your agents, okay? Agents bring agents. So this is the way it is. All right, so thank you so much everyone for joining us today. Now we have reached the end of our session. One more word of, take home tips from our audience. Can maybe the 3 of you give us just one word of take home tips for the audience today?
Okay, I go first lah. I
right.
always like to share quotes. I'm a quote guy. So let me share something from my education background. It's from Tiffany Madison. I'm not too sure whether you all know of her. Quite a popular journalist. So she quote, "When the rule of law disappears, we are ruled by the whims of men." So together, when I'm speaking about mentorship, you got great mentors from every generation in our industry. Female or male also got. Industrial, commercial, or residential also got. So mentorship is one key thing that we share through this solidarity, because I can mentor someone younger can mentor me. We always continue learning. So mentor is there for you to apply structure, the mentor will help you carry out the structure, carry out your dreams, carry out your beliefs. So make sure you implement structure. Make sure you implement a law to carry out your business, to carry out yourself, whether personally or professionally. Because otherwise, very similarly, they say you will just be ruled by the whims of men. So like they say, there's always these 7 things, gluttony, blah, 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 greed. So these are all the whims of men. And without putting in the rule of law, you are without structure, you are without direction. So this place of solidarity is to give you direction, is to give you energy, and is to enable you to focus on unity. Okay, as negotiators, we need to be unified. So everyone, please have that in mind. Please apply more structure in your life and search for the right mentorship, search for the right energy. Okay, that's my last note. Back to you, Caroline. Thanks.
Thank you, Kai. How about Dato Adrian yourself?
Wow, lawyers speak differently. To me, very go back to the layman term, start the work lah. I think over 20 days, you guys have learned a lot of the principle, the theory. Now is a time to really put in action. How to put in action? Whatever you had done already, show it to your leaders or show it to your colleagues. Okay, this is a new thing. You see my social media, I add more listing, or I have done something different than others, our estate agents. All this, try to do something, and then I hope moving forward with the audience, 100 and over people here, anybody willingly and become a volunteer to submit your good as how to say resume to us that you want to come forward to do some of your sharing. We welcome all of you. As I say, this platform is to grow people. I also using this platform to train my public speaking and then try to do more sharing to every one of you here to make myself much more better, because from every training I learn something. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending this 3 p.m. session.
Thank you, Dato Adrian. Okay, how about Aldrin?
Wow. Okay. So you have a lawyer, then you have an engineer who actually give a tip. So I'm an accountant. All right. So accountant means we always look at the return. Okay. Don't do anything. Don't even spend your time when you don't see the return. Okay, because your cost is actually your time. And the fact that I see a lot of familiar faces here over the last 20 days, give yourself a thumbs up. As what Dato Adrian say, and also Kai say as well. As what I mentioned, okay, learning is part of the business, but what is the one that will make you have the return is actually how you're going to capitalize. And if you do not start executing it, you do not start practicing it, I can tell you, you get a not zero return, and not zero doesn't mean it's positive, it's actually negative, all right? Okay, because opportunity cost. So one last word that that I want to share is continue to be part of this, all right? Solidarity beyond 2021. The 3 companies here are working round the clock to add values to everyone, that is part of this movement. Encourage your friends and also your colleagues as well who has not been attending this, be part of this for one thing, all right? This is a movement for everyone. It's not just about me, Dato Adrian, Kai or Terence. No, this is actually meant for people on the ground, okay? And the fact that the 3 leaders over here are able to come together, all right, set our ego aside. Differences, yes, of course we have differences. Come on, who say we never have differences? But the fact that this is all in the mission of being together, all right, under this solidarity beyond 2021, so that we can actually propel our business, which is your business, in the future, all right? And one last thing is this, okay? We are in the pandemic, and soon when this pandemic is over, all right, my crystal ball probably tell me that it's not going to be very far off. The market will go on a super bull run, okay? Don't believe me? By the time you believe me, then it will already be too late. So gear up, everyone, and be prepared when the market reopen. and you will see your return is back. So accountant is always return. So we want you to have a high return. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Aldrin. And all right, we have reached the end of our session today. We would like to once again thank Mr. Aldrin Tan, Dato Adrian, and also Kai Wong for their insightful and selfless sharing, and to all of you for joining us and giving us your participative support. So thank you so much once again.